Hi guys, Richard here. Sometimes you have to walk away. This is what I'm doing. Actually, I'm riding away. I'm running away. I was just trying to record a video for like the third time. I'm trying to repair the Ad Motor M81, replace the sensor on it. And oh my gosh, just one thing after another. So I finally said, and I don't know if that video will ever get posted, but if so, you'll probably catch my frustrations. So I said, you know what? I'm done. Let's go for a ride. This is a short ride in the neighborhood. I left Toby tied up there in the garage. The garage door is open, you know, so I can't go too far, but we can make a couple of loops right here in the neighborhood. Something to get me out of the house for a few minutes. I'm on the Mokwheel Obsidian. Really enjoying this bike. Yeah. Enjoying this bike a whole lot. Just enjoying the fact that it's a torque sensor, number one. I've had a couple of bikes that were torque sensors, like the Emma. Let's see what else. I had something else that was a torque sensor. But nothing like this, you know, this is sweet in every sense of the word. So, just smooth. Did a ride yesterday with it. They're supposed to do some trail riding. Turned out not to be, I mean, it was trails, I guess. It was more like maintenance roads, gravel maintenance roads, sandy maintenance roads. So, not the type of riding that I thought it was going to be, but I mean, it still performed well. I had a stretch there where I went through a sandy stretch. It was probably 100 yards or something, really kind of thick, deep sand, and I was just plowing right through it, no problem. Everyone else was kind of riding on the edge, on the hard ground. There was a fire break the Forest Service put through, you know, they tilled up the ground to prevent fires from spreading, but it was all sand, and I plowed right through it. I was impressed with that. There is something I have noticed, though. I heard that there are some other reviewers or other owners that have commented about the torque sensor. They didn't care for the torque sensor or something, but I don't have a lot of experience with torque, right? I mean, I like it, but there is something that I noticed, and I'm going to stop right here and test it while I'm thinking about it. And that is, when you start pedaling, it seems to, well, I've jumped right off then. There's been a few times where I would start pedaling, it just seemed like it took a while for it to engage. Well, that's not even a quarter turn and it's engaging. Let's use the other pedal. Different position there. So we're gonna, yeah, okay. Only a quarter turn. Only a quarter turn and it engaged. I don't know. There's been some times when I was already cruising along and I wanted to go a little faster and I started getting after it, and it just feels like there was a long delay before it kind of kicked in. It kicked in right then, pretty good. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just not doing it right. I don't know. So good news, if you've been watching my other videos, I mentioned in, I think it was the video I went out with Mrs. Adventure, but Mokwheel did respond to me and say, hey, yeah, we do have a rear rack in production. It's going to be available soon. So I am excited that this bike is going to get a rear rack so that we can carry things on it. And because of that, I'll probably, I don't know if this is going to replace, this will probably replace the Remat Link as my daily rider for now. Because one, it's torque sensor, right? And I've been wanting the torque sensor for a while. And give me a little better exercise than what you get on a cadence. But this is only a 20 amp hour battery, whereas the Remat Link has 30. But oh my goodness, this bike is just so much more than what the Remat Link is. So yeah, I think I'll be switching over and making this my daily rider for a while once I get that rack. I don't know how soon it's coming out. They said it's in production. They said it's going to be available soon. What's that mean? You know, I mean, the factory next door is the one that makes them, and they'll be available in 2 weeks. It's going to be 2 months. You know, who knows? But yeah, love the fact that this is an 8-speed. I've got it in, what is it, 6 now. I think it's 6. This little gauge, this little dial thing over here isn't exactly lined up, so it kind of looks like it's between 6 and 7, but I think it's 6 is where I left it. And that's more than enough just for kind of cruising along here at 15 miles an hour. Absolutely zero ghost pedaling. Feels good. Then if I want to go faster, I can kick it up and go a little faster so I don't have to spin my legs so fast. So, super, super nice. I don't remember if the new Basalt and or if Scoria, after they made all the changes this year, and I don't know if either of those have 8 speeds or not. I don't remember. It seemed like, I know they changed the gearing up a little bit, and those are torque sensor bikes, but I don't know if it's the same. That I don't remember. I have to look that up. This is a thumb throttle bike, and I'm not a fan of thumb throttle, but because this is a torque sensor bike, I really haven't been using the throttle much. I oftentimes end up using the throttle on a cadence sensor bike because I'm trying to regulate the speed, because when I'm riding with other people, I want to kind of, you know, ride side by side with them and chat with them. And my pedal assist 3, you know, doesn't match their pedal assist 3 or whatever, so I usually keep it down one level and then just use the throttle to give it a little extra juice to kind of cruise along beside them. But I didn't have to do that a whole lot yesterday using the throttle. Since this is a torque sensor, I was able to kind of regulate the speed a lot better. So I like it. So even though I prefer a twist, will I swap it out and put a twist on it? I don't know. I just don't know if I'll do that, because I'm not using it a whole lot, and I don't want to go through all the hassle of trying to find a throttle that matches up with the controller, and we did that once before. So yeah, I don't know. This suspension on this is really nice. Jump up here on the curb. Super nice. I let my buddy Rick and Greg both ride this yesterday. They just test rode it right in the parking lot. They didn't take it too far. Rick had been looking at it for a while, and the only reason he has not purchased it is because of the rack. So he's excited to know now that they're coming out with a rear rack. And then, because I think, you know, he's been talking about buying something else for a while, but I think he's kind of narrowed it down. This is the route he wants to go. Although he is a little concerned about customer service. And we're not going to get into that in this video, but maybe another one here soon. We'll have to talk about that some more. But then when Greg rode it, and Greg owns both the Scoria and the Basalt, both torque sensors, you know, the newer versions. And he jumped on it and took it around the parking lot, and his words were, "Man, it's like a Cadillac. It's just so smooth." So, you know, I didn't really talk to him much. Should have asked him, you know, what makes this different than his Basalt, because he had his Basalt with him yesterday. Kind of get his take on it, but he just said it's just so smooth. So apparently it's considerably better than the Basalt. And I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll try to ask him a bunch of questions and make a video about that, so I can share with you guys what the difference is between, other than the fact that this is a mountain bike and it's a dual suspension, but you know, how it performs otherwise. So I'll try to get that to you, because I don't own a newer version of Basalt. Don't know that I will. I own the first version that came out, cadence sensor. Got rid of that. I don't know where my relationship with Mokwheel will go from here. I mean, they were kind enough to send this to me, and I can tell you now, the review is probably going to be solid. Spoiler alert. Now look, this feels like, you know, I guess the torque sensor is working. It's just, I'm just not used to it. Okay. Anyway, yeah, the reviews on this bike is going to be solid, most likely, because I haven't found anything yet that's really a big negative. So just be aware of that. Yeah. I don't know. Oh my goodness. So nice. But anyway, so yeah, relationship with Mokwheel. So I don't know. I've already reached out to them a couple times, and it's all been customer service related stuff. I mean, I read some posts from a couple of my latest videos, and honestly, I heard some pretty questionable stuff over the weekend, or when I was doing that group ride, and so I asked them about it, and I didn't really get answers to every point that I made or a question that I had. And so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. Is it the same old thing moving forward? It could be. Are they really trying to do things differently, and it's just a bumpy road and going to take some time to, that very well could be. It takes time to fix problems and get things straightened out. So, especially if you can't hire good people. And that's a problem, a lot of employers are having right now. They're just trying to find good talent that will show up for work on time and do the job that they're hired to do, and not bring all the baggage and drama and mayhem with them. And so that could be part of it. So I don't know. So to a couple of the people that posted and mentioned you're thinking about buying it, but you're not sure. Customer service is terrible. Here's my suggestion, and this is what I told my buddy Rick, because he questioned it too. I think the bike is outstanding so far, and I think if you want this bike, find a local dealer and buy the bike. Then you have to deal with the local dealer if things go wrong. You don't have to be fighting Mokwheel over it, okay? Are you going to pay more at the local dealer? Sometimes, yes. My local dealer, I purchased a Scoria through them, and they were charging me $200 more, plus, almost $200 in tax. Whereas when I bought it online, I didn't pay any tax, and it was $200 less. And in the end, they took $200 off, which was great. But I wouldn't go back to that bicycle shop either. I just been in there a couple of times, just had not had good feelings, and just not. I wouldn't go to them. But check out your local dealer and buy it from them. And then if something goes wrong, you get to work directly with them. You get to take the bike back to them. They fix it for you. It's their job to fight Mokwheel about spare parts, and oftentimes they have extra spare parts anyway already on hand. So that would be my recommendation to you if you're thinking about buying this, but you're hesitant about the Mokwheel reputation. The bikes are, they're really good until they break. And things can go wrong. Things can break. That happens with any brand, any product. But for the most part, the quality that I have had, that I've seen out of the Scoria, the Basalt, and this one so far is just outstanding. Yeah, I had a cadence sensor go out on the Basalt. Pretty easy and painless to swap out, and got it back on the road again. That's the only issue I had. But it just feels like, this one right here just feels like a good quality bike. It doesn't feel cheap. There's nothing on it that makes you, start questioning things. It's just an overall good, solid bike. Happy with it, real happy with it. Turn around right here. This video is getting long. I'm gonna have to cut it short. Sometime soon, I'm gonna come back and ride through that ditch like I've done a few times before with some other bikes. We'll get after it through there. I'm gonna take this bike to Alafia River State Park, do some real off-road riding. Not that the roads there or the trails there are anything, too difficult. They're not. They're mostly flat, just windy. The location that we were at Carlton Reserve, that video we just posted, Rick and I and a couple others, I think Joe, maybe Greg, I don't know, we're planning on going back and doing our own thing and not having a guide. That guide yesterday just didn't want to go very far. She was done after 8 miles and thought we were done. And we said, no. And we ended up doing 12, but that's all we could get out of her, So, and we stayed on these maintenance roads, which isn't really trail riding. We were thinking and expecting to do some trail riding, and they have single track trails there, so we're going to go check them out sometime when we get our schedules together. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Yeah. So anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you like it, if you enjoyed the ride this morning, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, I always try to respond, do the best I can. And if you haven't checked out this other video, my latest, it'll be right here.